We need to talk, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You don't have an information problem. You have an execution problem. You have been planning and thinking about doing it, but God has been calling you to move, to expand your business, to launch the podcast, to have brand presence online through social media, by releasing the book, by launching that coaching community. Look, I get it. You already have a lot on your plate, but you have been praying for your business to reach more people, to have more impact, to create wealth for you and your family, to make more money. And God is trying to give you that, but you're not willing to take the next step. This exact time last year, God called me to expand my business by launching a YouTube channel. I did it, and within 2 months, I started monetizing, and here I am, almost a year later, with so many amazing opportunities just because I said yes. And I already had the social media. I already had the podcast, but God was calling me to expand my territory, to increase my capacity. And that's the same thing that God is wanting for you. You are sitting on an expansive idea that will quite literally change your entire life and your business. And it's eating you up internally because you haven't made the decision to move. So now I'm holding you accountable so that you plant the seed before 2026. And the truth is, you are going to learn some amazing tips that are going to help you execute faster. Accelerated application. Welcome back, or if you're new here, I'm Michaela, and I talk all things business, God-led lifestyle, productivity systems, routines, and behind the scenes of my journey towards building a multi-million-dollar business as a 28-year-old founder. And if you want more from me other than my YouTube videos, you can check out my podcast, Business Redefined, or when you're ready to join a community of ambitious female founders and business owners, you can go ahead and click the link in the description to join the inner circle. Now let's get right into this. That internal resistance that you're feeling is God giving you a desire for a different output and even an idea for you to move and act on. And this is going to require another level of discipline, another level of structure. It's going to require you to change your inputs to actually produce this desired outcome. Let me be the first to tell you, you have everything that you need in your hands right now. You don't even need to know the full why or the how. God just needs you to move. Plant the seed before 2026, and your capacity is going to expand as you take action. Tip number 1, your continued planning is causing delay. You're not actually confused. You know exactly what God told you to do. You just aren't showing up the way that you know that you could. Some of you are saying that you don't know what to do, but is that actually true? Because there is so much information online that can tell you how to take your first step. Which is why I mentioned earlier that information isn't your problem, execution is. So we may not have all the answers to know what's going to take place, but you will learn along the way, especially when you do something that God has called you to do. He's going to provide you the provision. He's going to provide you the guidance. All God is asking you to do is take the first step. It's about taking initiative to figure it out. And when God tells us to do something, sometimes it makes absolutely no sense, especially you may already be having success in your business. And God is calling you to maybe pivot, or God's calling you to shift, or God is calling you to let it go and start something different. It doesn't have to make sense right now, but just know that God is working it for your good. And he's already went ahead of us. And so something that I had to realize is when God tells me to move and do something, I move so quickly, not in a space where I'm moving in a type of rush where I'm thinking straight, but more so moving in urgency, understanding that when I move quickly, not only do I fail faster, but it also allows God to provide provision for what I'm doing. And I also trust in my relationship with God enough to know that if I do make the wrong decision, that he is going to redirect me towards making the right one. So for example, when I did start this YouTube channel, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to set it up. I truly had never talked and did long form. But what I did is I started doing research just to see what do other people do? Like, how can I look at them to get an understanding of what is possible for me. And this is not to say, look at them and compare yourself, but I looked at them to get information on how I can follow through with what God told me to do, showing me that it's possible, showing me that they also took the bold, intentional, courageous step to talk in front of the camera. And now here I am almost a year later, feeling so confident in front of the camera, understanding that I am still learning along the way. So my question to you is, what is one small step that you can do today? Tip number 2, God just needs your yes. Not a yes and then wait 6 months to actually execute. I'm talking about saying yes and then taking action within the next 24 hours, whatever that looks like for you based on what God has told you to do. Because delayed obedience is still disobedience. And there is someone who is connected to your yes. Your business idea that God has given you isn't just for you. It is for the people that He has called you to serve. That's why you started your business in the first place. God has given you a business to help solve someone else's problem. So you showing up and doing the other expansive idea that God has pushed you to start is not for you. And yes, it takes sacrifice. Yes, it takes discipline. But this is the thing, you showing up and following through, God is going to give you back 100-fold for you showing up and operating in your gifts. You are truly answering someone else's prayer when you follow through with what God says. Even if it's as simple as going up to someone at the grocery store and just asking them, can I pray for you? Do you need prayer for something? And you using your gift to pray for them and them experiencing healing, like that is an answered prayer for them. And just a side note, it's not about just one yes and being done. It's a continued yes over and over and over again, because your faith is shown by what you do. And I want to read in James 1:21-24. Don't you remember that our ancestor Abraham was shown to be right with God by his actions when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see, his faith and his actions worked together. His actions made his faith complete. And so it happened just as the scriptures say. Abraham believed God, and God counted him as righteous because of his faith. He was even called the friend of God. So you see, we are shown to be right with God by what we do, not by faith alone. So you say you have faith in God, but are your actions displaying that faith when He is calling you to do something different than what you are doing right now, and you're afraid of what could possibly happen? Maybe even you're just afraid of the success. Whatever it is, just know that God has your back and know that you are capable, and that God wouldn't have called you to it if you weren't capable of it. It takes your continued yes. When God can trust you with a few, He gives you more. So after I launched the YouTube channel, God then pushed me and challenged me to launch a group coaching community. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but all I knew was that I needed to take the first step. And so what I did is within a week, I launched it, and I used strategy and I used wisdom, and I utilized the resources and the support that I had to bring this to life. And so me saying yes continually over and over and over, I realized that God was able to provide me what I had been praying for, not just for me, but for the people around me, by my obedience to show up and just say yes, no matter what the outcome is, and not selective hearing yes, but an actual yes, even when it hurts, even when I have to let something go in the process, even when I have to sacrifice a relationship that I don't want to let go of, but God is saying this is in the past. And then over time, God allowed me to pivot from helping people start their business to helping people scale and make more money in their business. Like, it happens as you execute. Your capacity grows. God gives you more direction, more vision, and it allows you to actually bring to pass what you didn't even know that you desired or what you needed. Tip number 3, discern the season. So just because God gave you this expansive idea to move on, that doesn't mean mean you can actually execute the entire thing tomorrow. So take the pressure off yourself, take a deep breath, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you give God your yes and he tells you to act on this idea, it's now time for you to use your discernment, your wisdom to know, is this something that he is telling me to do right now? Or is he telling me this so that I can prepare for it? So I just want to give you an example, because God has put this vision, this huge vision that is too big to carry on my own for me to execute on my own, but he has given me this idea for an in-person space. And when it comes to an in-person space, this means that you have to have funding, you have to find a building. And so what God has allowed me to do in the process is I may not be able to launch this in-person space tomorrow, but what I can do is research. But what I can do now is start walking buildings and seeing what I like. I can start making Pinterest boards to see what the space looks like. And the thing is, I realized I actually wouldn't even be able to launch the in-person space if I wanted to, because my credit isn't right for it. So what did that tell me? God showed me that I needed to fix my credit so that I can actually get funding to launch the place. And so I'm sharing this, I'm putting my business out there to show you that even though I do have this really big vision, that God is going to bring people in on this vision to help me bring it to pass, I'm doing what I can right now. And that is to move in preparation. And that's by doing research. That's by fixing my credit. That's by putting myself in a position so that I can actually receive funding to bring this to life. Tip number 4, learn how to create room for more, because busyness does not equal effectiveness. You can be so busy doing the wrong things that you're not actually moving the needle forward in your business at all. So I want you to think about all of the activities that you are doing that is not actually allowing you to follow through with what God has told you to do, or isn't allowing you to pivot. This is where I want you to be brutally honest with yourself and ask, are you doing something that God never asked you to do? This has been me before, and I had to be brutally honest with myself and make the adjustment as necessary, because I realized God asked me to do something and I said that I didn't have time to do it. But the truth is I did have the time, but I was using that time for something else that God never told me to actually spend my time on. So I was doing something that I believed was right versus what God said was right. Because you can be doing a good thing and it not be the right thing at the right time, because timing is everything. This is not the time to try to just squeeze and fit in what God told you to do into your schedule. Your initiative and what I am calling you out to do is to take inventory of how you're spending your time. I want you to go by increments of 15 to 30 minutes, and I want you to do this over 3 days, because you're really going to see how you're spending your time, where your time is going, and this is going to allow you to make the necessary changes that you need, whether it's to start doing something, stop doing something, delegate, automate, whatever it is. This is going to open your eyes on how you can actually start making time in your schedule to do what God said to do. And not only that, it's going to allow you to move in strategic simplicity, because in order for you to scale, simplification is very important. And one of the most important systems to create room in your business is to make a decision, to commit. It's to set your intentions and build systems that actually bring the desirable outcome forward. And if you need help with this, just know you can come into the inner circle, and I have all of this already set up for you. There are so many amazing women who are seeing insane results, and this is not just for them. This is available to you too. And tip number 5, your shameless persistence is where God shows up. His provision is in your persistence. His provision is in your movement. And I really want to read Luke 11:5-9. This is Jesus talking to his disciples, then teaching them more about prayer. He used this story. Suppose you went to a friend's house at midnight wanting to borrow 3 loaves of bread. You say to him, a friend of mine has just arrived for a visit and I have nothing for him to eat. And suppose he calls out from his bedroom, don't bother me. The door is locked for the night and my family and I are all in bed. I can't help you. But I tell you this, though he won't do it for friendship's sake, if you keep knocking long enough, he will get up and give you whatever you need because of your shameless persistence. And so I tell you, keep on asking and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking and you will find. Keep on knocking and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. Everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. This is why it is so important for you to be shamelessly persistent, to continue to show up, to continue to be resilient, to be tenacious, to not give up when it gets hard, to allow yourself to lean on the Lord, allow yourself to lean on your support system, to lean on the community. Like, there are so many different ways to help you actually hold yourself accountable in being persistent and showing up. Because again, you're not confused. You know who God called you to be. You're just not showing up the way that you know you could and that you should. Because again, your gap isn't knowledge. It's the discipline and the application needed for you to show up when it gets hard, when self-doubt creeps in, when overwhelm creeps in, and when pressure shows up. You are someone who honors your word. You are someone who follows through with their commitments. You are someone who is obedient. So just know, you may be in the valley right now, but this decision to be persistent, this decision to say yes, this decision to follow through, this decision to be committed and honor your word and follow through is what's going to lead you to the mountain. Because the thing is, yes, the mountain is tall and you can see it from the ground, but you don't know what you're going to face on the way up. And so you being persistent, understanding and expecting for obstacles to be in the way is your superpower, because you get to lean on God. You get to lean on the one who helps you through every single battle. And we already go from victory to victory. So you may be in the valley right now, whether it's in your mind, in your life, in your business may not be doing as well as you thought it would. But this decision to plant the seed before 2026 could change absolutely everything for you. And so I'm really excited and I really want to hear what your decision is moving forward, what seed you're planting in the ground, because I wholeheartedly believe in you. I know that you are capable. You've made it this far, and God didn't bring you this far to leave you here. He brought you to this point, to this video, for a reason. Make sure you subscribe and hang out a little while longer, because I'm not going anywhere. And just know that you can get inspiration from my own behind the scenes videos. You can get inspiration from all of my other building your business with God, the lifestyle, all the things. But the truth is, none of this matters if you don't know Jesus. And I believe that you do, because you're here tuning in. But just in case you don't, know that he carries all the weight. He carries every burden. And I just want to invite you to accept Jesus in your heart right now. Right now. Can you make that decision? Because you can get to the top without feeling lonely. You can be successful, have riches, have wealth without losing yourself along the way. You can be the most fully expressed version of yourself and not feel like you need to strive or perform or just even feel like a fraud because you can't even be yourself. This is your invitation to do business with God, your invitation to accept Jesus in your heart, and just say, Lord, I accept Jesus Christ into my heart as my Lord and Savior. I believe he rose again from the dead. And just as he was raised up, I'm raised up too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, again, leave a comment. Let me know if this blessed you. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until next time, I love you. Bye.